Hello and welcome once again. This is one session I'm pretty excited about because of the number of things we are capable of doing. So let's just jump into it, shall we? We're going to talk about a certain object into a presentation, And at the end of this particular session, you should be able to insert a text box, crop, and style a picture, insert a chart, insert and edit these chart data, what makes up the charts, the slides from other presentations, insert a table, insert the format, the word art, animate objects, and of course, you should be able to insert and edit digital video. It's going to get exciting, okay? Yes, I could have inserted what do you call it, a skit, a short one in here, you know. So let's see how it goes, shall we? Now, sometimes you need an extra text from your aside from the placeholders that you have available. So if you look at this diagram, for example, we have this slide. It's not just a diagram; it's an open active window, not an image, right? So by default, when you create a new web PowerPoint slide, you have two placeholders in the title slide. We have the click to add title and then another placeholder for click to add the subtitle. Okay, but what happens if I need a third one? Have you ever thought of that? Maybe that hasn't happened to you yet. So once again, you go to the Insert tab. Under the text group, you can find out text box, select it. Your cursor turns into an arrow. Drag to fill to your desired range, and then make an input of your needed extra text. And there we go. So technically, we are having two forms of a third new placeholder in that demonstration, and that is what basically we are trying to draw your attention to. That is highly possible. Okay. Now we can also crop and style a picture. We can crop and style a picture. And of course, a picture by default, we are saying is a digital photograph, piece of line or art or a clip art or any other artwork that is created in another program. When you bring that in here, it's a different thing entirely. We have different types of pictures that can be accepted in the PowerPoint, and a JPEG file and the bitmap files are all typical examples that we can make mention of. Now, you can actually also hide a portion of the picture if you don't want it to be seen by cropping it. You can reduce the file size and so on and so forth. So let's do something like that, shall we? So if you pick this, for example, this display we have here, I think I have an image somewhere here of this woman, as you can see. So this is the original image of this woman, as you can see from here. Okay, so let that not confuse you. If I can actually remove that image from my slide to begin with, right? And I can just go ahead and then add some image to it. I can pick pictures, navigate to my computer, pictures, blah blah blah, and put it there. Alternatively, I can just copy the image from wherever I opened it, and then I can paste that in there, and it's looking fine. I don't want their design ideas yet. I don't want to get into this design ideas, at least not just yet. Okay, so this is an image I have imported in here. How about if I don't want I want a portion of it, I don't want all of it. The moment, like I said, as we did with shapes and lines, etc., once I select this image, this object, I have a picture format, a new contextual tab that is active for me, if you follow. And then you see a crop button option under the size group. So I can crop this image to just a certain extent of my desired, and then I click outside it, and it is cropped, as you can see. Is that not beautiful? And I can just move it anywhere I want. Maybe I just want the image of the lady in there. Another thing I can do is hide it. So once again, go to the picture format and then remove the background of this image. Exciting, isn't it? Maybe I want her underpants as well. I mean, this lower part of her dress to also show. So I will zoom in closely to make sure that I see all that I need. I select mark areas to remove or mark areas to keep. This time I want areas to keep. All the pink sections are areas it's going to remove. So I want to keep the cap. I want to keep the wrists area. I want to keep this part of her dress. I want to keep this part of the cap to also appear. I want the wrist to show. Okay, I want all this section as well to show. So all I'm doing is clicking and adding and moving around. Now, what I did affected this section, so I won't do that. And then keep my mark areas pretty simple. It's still dragging itself into it, so I'm gonna have to play with it slightly. It still doesn't work out. That's fine. But that to this extent, I'm pleased because it's a straight edge and a straight line. So let's see how this fizzles out. So I keep all the changes, and there we go. Voila. We have removed everything from it, and we are just seeing here. I hope this sparks some ideas into your head. It gives you ideas about some of the things you typically can do and cannot do in PowerPoint. You notice that this object is on top of the text here. So once again, just like I did before, I can use the arrange group and send it to the back, and then the text will sit in right on top of her dress. As if I know how to use Photoshop. No, this is our basic things you can do. Cropping and styling your images. A whole lot of things you can do. You can make it transparent. You can add some labels to them. Some of these picture styles are all options you can choose from. You can even change the color entirely. All the temperatures, etc. If you understand how these things plays out and fizzle out, you can change their looks and feels to obscure the personalities, the images behind them, texturize. I'm pretty sure you are seeing the limitless opportunities and possibilities you can put your images through. There are tons of them. You can do that, you can do that, you can, I'm sure you get the point by now. You can actually do artistic effect options by going through all the series of options that are available as well. It's quite straightforward. I hope it is though. But that is for you to see what can be done and what cannot be done. So at least you've seen the cropping at work, and you can also reduce the size of the file, delete it, etc., etc. A lot of things that you typically can do. Right. So enough of that. Now let's learn how to insert chart. We want to insert chart. A chart basically is a graphical representation of numerical data. Every chart has a corresponding worksheet. There must be some table that will be feeding into that chart, because if you have figures, it will show how things are playing out. So we have an embedded object, one that is a part of your presentation, except that the embedded object data source can be opened for editing later on. So how do we go about this? Let's once again get back into our demonstration section. Let's see, probably we want to put a chart here. An option here is to just select this button from inside this placeholder and insert a chart. That option is there. Another option is to go to insert tab and then click insert a chart, and it will trigger this as well. Hope you are watching. Right, so all these options are available. You can go ahead and select OK and it put in the chart. So it has pre-populated some information. Wherever you see category on the legend, you are able to edit from the spreadsheet. I could say that this is say stage 1 and move down there, and then you will notice that the category 1 changes to stage 1. I can call this one stage 2, and it will change, and I can call this one stage 3, and it will move on like that, and I can call this one, say, stage 4, and it will happen equally the same. You can vary the values here, and it will affect the charts as you are seeing from here. It's pretty straightforward. We will look at, in a later lesson, we'll see the integration of Microsoft Excel for real in Word and Excel, what do you call it, synchronously. But that is going to happen pretty soon. So be on the watch out for that. So there are several types of charts that we can talk about, different charts that we can make mention of. As far as our chart is concerned, we have several chart types we can choose from. We have column chart, the line chart, the pie, the bar, the area, scatter, stock, surface, radar, combo, any chart that you can literally bring up in Microsoft Excel, you can equally put that chart here as well in PowerPoint. So you have gone through this process already, so there's no new language in your vocabulary. So after you insert your chart into your presentation, you need to replace the sample data with correct information, as I was demonstrating to you over here. So it was categories, and I've changed them to stages. If I need to change the values, I can do the same, depending on whatever chart I want to insert into my presentation. So when you enter or import your data, the chart is updated automatically in your PowerPoint. So that is also very simple. You can edit a lot of things in the chart by taking advantage of the chart design tools, formatting tools, colors, want to switch rows and columns of your charts, etc. All of these things are possible. Yes, so you can play with them. They also have some quick styles that we can choose from, and these are all formatting tools, which has nothing to do with the data that is being used to generate the chart. Okay, so that's also for your information. Great. Now we can also insert slides from other slides. You can do that. So to save time and everything, I can actually make reference to maybe a slide I recently worked on, maybe this one particular here. Yes, so this is another slide. So these are two slides on this same computer, as you can see from here. If I want this slide to repeat itself in this presentation, all I need to do is just copy the slide, as you can see from here, come to this portion and then paste that slide, keeping source format, and there we go. It's there. I can equally go to the clipboard group and use the paste option there to do that, to save time and energy. I have options. I can either paste using destination theme, or I can paste using maintaining the source theme. So that is also an option that is available to us. We can also insert a table. Oh, I didn't even show this. I hope oh no, I didn't. So let me just go back briefly. If I can undo what I just did. So these are two presentation slides sitting on my computer. Originally this is how they were. So let me just take them back. I noticed I did not have this image there. So this one doesn't exist. So this is what I'm working from. Maybe, so I have 5 slides, for example, here, and I want to import a slide from this particular presentation in there. So what I would typically do is put these items side by side in Windows. I don't need to put them side by side. I can open one at a time and then copy what I need. So I may want to copy this set of slides. I just hold Control A to copy all of them, or hold the Control key and click on all the slides I'm interested in to copy, or just pick one that I'm interested in. Then I right click and select copy, as you can see from here. Then I move to the destination PowerPoint presentation. I can paste using the destination theme or keeping the source theme. And I have the slide right there. And this is supposed to help us save much time. Great. So now we're talking about inserting the table. Once you have created a table, you have two tabs and you can edit them as and what you want. The same way we have dealt with some of these things already. So if I create a new slide, for example, maybe I wanted to follow the same routine. So I can equally come here within the section where I can select the table, determine the number of columns and rows that I need, and it will generate it for me. And then an alternative is to go to the Insert tab and then locate Tables group and then pick my rows and columns as and how I need it, and it will create them for me. I can come in there and edit the content as and how I want it to be. Now, once you engage a table, you have the Table Design tab active, so you can shade your tables in different colors. You can increase the borders and put borders around everything. You can add some effects and bezels and other things to it. You can equally even increase the font size of the edges and take out some, etc. All of these are options that are available to you from the Table Design tool. Right, so it's nothing too complicated at all. The next thing is to insert a word art. Word art is a set of decorative textiles that you can apply to any text object, and you can apply word art to existing text or even start something from scratch. So let's build on something that already exists. So for example, this is an already existing text. We can add a word art feature to it. All we need to do is go to the Insert tab. We have word art right here, and then we can have it applied to the text we have here. US jobs growth, blah blah blah. There are lots of word art options that we can choose from. So you have so many options, looks and feels that you may want your word to look like. And you can use these options to add some bit of color. I personally rarely use word art because whatever I need, I can go ahead and use it. My favorite font type is what I refer to as the Lato Black, which I got to know from a YouTuber, and it looks good and feels good. It makes everybody see whatever you are presenting and appealing to the eyes. You may want to get this font installed on your computer some way, somehow, but that is for your information, right? So that's about the word art. Nothing too complicated. You can have access to the new shape format and edit a whole lot of looks and feels of your word art in several forms as in how you want it. You can pick a text or a whole selected text and then put them in particular shapes and forms. That is all possible. Now you can also animate objects. How these objects should appear as and when you want them to display on your work. Animations actually let you control how objects and text appear on the screen and how you manage the flow of information and emphasize on the facts. You can animate text, you can animate anything that is put under the umbrella of an object. So for example, I can animate this smart art we have down here. All I need to do is go to animations and then tell it to bounce and it will bounce. Tell it to glow and it will glow and turn. Tell it to split and it will do that. Tell it to floating and it will do the same thing. And I can define the timer as to how I want it to happen. I can reorganize all of the animations in one particular slide. And note, this is completely different from transitions. This is not transitions. So you take notice of this. So we have categories. We have the entrance animations, exit animations, emphasis animations, and of course the motion part animations. You can play with all of these options to a desired state, and then you are good to go. The last item on our bill is inserting and editing a digital video. So what do we do? Digital video is any live action captured basically in a digital format. So we take notice of that. I mean, it's one of the things that we are in the we are in a position to also include in a slide. We have table, we have charts, we have smart art, we have 3D models, we have pictures, we have stock images, we have insert videos, and of course we have insert icons, as you can see from here. Animated videos actually contain multiple images that stream together or even move to give an illusion to an emotion of emotion. You can edit all of these things. You can trim them. How do we do all of these things in PowerPoint? Well, pretty quite simple. So I'm going to import a video. I'm just copying the video in the raw state from a location on my PC, and I'm going to paste it right here, as you can see. Okay, great. So what can I do with this? Basically, what you can do is, once you select the video, you have a host of tools available to you under the video format. You can correct the colors even in the video. You'll be shocked this is all possible. Get about these design ideas. You can also what else? You can, of course, change the color and look of it, make it look something different entirely. You can add some corrections to it as and when you think it's necessary. You can suddenly turn it to darkness. What else? You can do a lot of trimming, video trimming. Maybe you want to cut a portion of the video, just go to the playback option under the editing group. You see trim video, just drag to where you want it to start from and where you want it to end. If you know the timelines, you can input them, select OK, and after a few moments it will affect your video and it will happen just as in how you want it to happen, basically. So that is it. I mean, that is fundamentally all there is. So ladies and gentlemen, I wish there was more we could do. There is, not that I wish, there is more we can do, but I think this is just to give you the foundation to let you ladder into bigger things in this field. So we got the curtain on PowerPoint here. As I indicated, in the next engagement, we could be, in the next engagement, we will look at the integration of some of these tools across Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And then the last bit, we'll go through some bonus content which I want to exclusively walk you through, which most likely may be a live session before you do the major project for this particular course. So on that note, thank you very much for your attention, and see you in the next engagement.